Hey, it's Roberta here, bar exam success coach and the creator and founder of the Blessed and Barred Bar Exam Success System, which is the system that is implemented in the Blessed and Barred Christian Bar Exam Coaching Program. So, for this quick video, I am going to quickly walk through the steps in the Blessed and Barred Bar Exam Success System. So, the first thing that I'll point out is that this image representation here is called a cycle chart because although there are steps in a sequential order, it's kind of more as a cycle. And if I even included arrows to go back and forth to each other, that would also be relevant too, because it's not like you'll do a step and then never come back to it. A lot of times you're going to be revisiting some of these things. So you don't have to think of it as a rigid, system where there's no flexibility. It's more of a cycle where you'll be going back and revisiting different things. Okay, so I really do consider this a three-step cycle, a three-step system, with the main three being to first start with your map, your mindset, affirmations, and prayer. And then two, tame your time. And then three, strategize your studying. But the way that I had this set up, I didn't feel like putting a zero. So I just had the one. And to be honest, this right here, identifying your bar exam blessing blockers, that kind of is like a big thing. So we'll start with that because that also kind of shows you where you should start first on the cycle and what you may need to focus on more on the cycle. So, okay, with that said, here we've got identify your bar exam blessing blockers. And what that means is for you to identify things that may be holding you back. And I've actually got a chart, several charts that list out under each of these three main topics: start with your map, tame your time, and strategize your studying, different things that could be holding you back from passing the bar exam. So you'll see this when you go to identify your bar exam blessing blockers right over here. But for example, one underneath start your map may be fear. And then in the next column, I have how it shows up. If you're scared of, failure, scared of rejection, scared of criticism, if those are some of the things holding you back, the way it can show up is you don't practice multiple choice questions. You don't practice your MBEs all that much because you be getting them wrong and you don't like that. So you don't really practice them. And so in this case, the bar exam blessing activator, which is the opposite of the bar exam blessing blocker, would be to practice those MBEs, would be to operate in faith instead of fear, would be to make adjustments in your mindset so that you no longer fear failure, but embrace the learning opportunity. So you'll see more about how that works when you are actually inside of this lesson, but I wanted to keep this video quick, so you'll see that when you actually get to that part. But that is why identify your bar exam blessing blockers is at the top of the cycle chart here, and why I have it as the first thing in the cycle chart. And it's also one of the first things you do in the pre-work section, because by identifying what your bar exam blessing blockers are, then you're able to identify and realize what it is that you need to be aware of, what it is that you need to work on, what changes you need to make. And as you can see, it can run the gamut from things that have to do with your mindset to things that have to do with your time management or other things that are going on with your life, to things that have to do with your actual study strategy or what happened on exam day. that kind of thing. So it's very comprehensive. All right. So that's the first thing that happens in the Blessed and Barred bar exam success system. Taking that time to do that evaluation so you can identify your bar exam blessing blockers. Okay? Okay. So then next, I've got to start with your map, which is why earlier when I said technically, really, when I first came up with this, I was thinking it's 3 steps. And the first step is to start with your map. And I said to start with that because your mindset is going to affect how you process things, if you even implement things at all, and how you follow through. Because if in your mind you're like, I don't really want to do this for real, then you won't do it. Like you're not, you know what I mean? If you're thinking, what's the point? Then you're not really going to put a lot of effort into it. So that's why in the Blessed and Barred bar exam success system, we've got the mindset stuff very early on. That's the next thing that you're working on after, we've got the pre-work with the bar exam blessing blockers. We've got the M in MAP, which is the mindset related stuff. So for example, challenging unhelpful thinking styles, 6 C's to take your thoughts captive and transform your mind, methods to maintain motivation to study, how to make bar exam study more enjoyable. We've got things like that fall under the M in the MAP, mindset. Then we've also got, affirmations. So learning more about the biblical power of decrees, about vision planning, about scriptures to stand on. And then we've also got the P in MAP, which is for prayers, like how to plead your case and how to pray and petition God like a lawyer, prayers specifically for the bar exam, and also how to incorporate prayer into your daily routine and into your study schedule. So as you can see, starting with your map is figurative, but also literal. And I like that, mindset, affirmations, and prayer spells out map, because it kind of was like, this is what you're going to follow. This is what leads you to where you want to go. You have to follow this map. You need to make sure you have the right map to get you to where you want to go. So that is what start with your map is all about. Next, we've got Tame Your Time. And Tame Your Time is about time and life management. And I say life management as well as time management because, while you're studying for the bar exam, life doesn't stop. And all of your other responsibilities that you have in your life are also going to affect the amount of time that you have available to study. So that's why under Tame Your Time, time management and productivity, but also life management, we have things ranging from, specifically, setting the schedule and keep the schedule and how to, make your bar exam study calendar, but also how to identify your strengths and weaknesses, your stressors and triggers, how to protect boundaries. And something that you'll see that I am often doing within the Blessed and Barred bar exam success system is allowing for that evaluation and that, internal checking yourself kind of, for example, recognize your procrastination type. Because, we all be procrastinating. And sometimes you know it, sometimes you don't. So this right here is helping you be more accountable to yourself to recognize your procrastination type. And it's actually done in a fun way. I help you create your POP plan, your prevail over procrastination plan, your POP plan. How do you spend your time really sitting down and figuring out where does all the time go? We always ask ourselves that, right? Like, where did my day? What happened? Well, we're going to figure that out. So that way we can see what you should keep doing and what you should stop doing, Oh yeah, that goes with this list here. Keep, stop, and start doing. Anyway, again, there's a whole nother video when you're actually going through the program about what's included in Tame Your Time. But yes, that's what you have to look forward to in Tame Your Time. And this is stuff that you may also revisit, because you may be like, oh, let me go back and make a tweak in my schedule. Same with up here. You might be like, I'm really struggling with this particular kind of thought that keeps coming up in my study that's holding me back. Let me go back to, how to take my thoughts captive and transform my mind, as it says in the Bible, I believe in 2 Corinthians. Okay, next we've got strategize your studying. Strategize your studying. That is, looking at the MBE, the essays, the PTs, and your exam day strategy. And so inside of the program, after Tame Your Time, you see we have multiple strategize your studying sections. We have scientific study methods. We've got specific things for the essays and MPTs, checklists that you can use while you're practicing, to make sure that you are crafting answers that get the most amount of points, study strategies specifically for each of the areas of the exam, how you can study strategically for each area of the exam. And then the Blessed and Barred bar exam writing framework, it actually falls underneath strategize your studying. So it's not necessarily a separate step, but it is a whole big thing on its own, since this is where you get all of the training for you to be able to write those higher scoring essays and MPTs. That's under the Blessed and Barred bar exam writing framework. And as you can see, there are multiple parts to it. What bar exam graders are looking for: the Blessed and Barred 3-step writing framework, which is to have on point organization, amped up analysis, and exquisite editing. And so I get into how to do each of those things inside of the writing workshop. How to review essays and MPTs so that way you can learn from them. We have live essay reviews, how to analyze like an attorney on the MPT. And this also complements what we talk about in the Blessed and Barred bar exam writing workshop. So that is all what is covered in the Blessed and Barred bar exam success system, the cycle chart here. As I said at the outset, it's a cycle. You may go and revisit some things depending on what your bar exam blessing blockers are. You may, start with your map and then skip to strategize your studying because, maybe your time management is pretty all right. You really need to get it together on some of this other stuff. Then you'll go over here. And then you'll skip back over to here. And then you might be like, ooh, you know what? I've been procrastinating. I do need to go tame my time. And then you'll come back over here. So as you can see, it is a holistic system for success on the bar exam. And something let me just say this real quick before I forget. Also, when I talk about life management in addition to time management, also your energy management. So I've also got something about stamina and healthcare and habits and routines that you can make sure that you schedule these things to take care of yourself as well. So this really truly is a comprehensive comprehensive success system for you, for the bar exam, that you don't really see anywhere else, because it touches on the spiritual, touches on the emotional, touches on the physical, touches on the mental, touches on the academic. You know what I mean? So yes. Anyway, I think this is long enough because I said this was going to be a quick video. So I am going to go ahead and hop off now, but I hope that this was helpful for you so that you can get a better idea of what this program is based on. It's based on this bar exam success system. And I hope you can see how these specific categories are designed to help you get that bar exam success the blessed and barred way. Okay, alrighty. I'll see you later on in the program. Stay blessed. Bye.